Hello and welcome back to Modelling Misadventures. Now the next stage of this Ben Buckle Super 60 build is going to involve setting up the fuel tank and fuel system. And I've already made a place for the fuel tank to go in the model, and now I'm going to fit it. So this is a fuel tank that I've got, a Dubrow 4-ounce fuel tank. And this is what it looks like. And when you open it up, it's got a few things inside it. So inside it we have a couple of these brass tubes, a fuel clunk and a little bit of silicone tubing. So the first thing that I did was I sawed one of those brass tubes in half, and I've made this one and put a little bend in it. That's going to be the vent tube that allows air to go into the tank, and this one is going to be the fuel feed that allows fuel to come out. So we'll put that all together. Now this fuel cap is in 3 parts, and I'm just going to separate them out. There's a screw there that holds the 3 parts together. There's a little cap at the end, then there's a rubber stopper, and then there's a cap at the front. And this rubber stopper's got 2 holes in for those brass tubes to go through. Right, so to connect these together, I'm going to put this brass pipe through this plastic cap. And then through the rubber stopper. Then we put the other one in. There we are. And then we're going to put the outer plastic cap on here, like this. There we go. And I'm not going to tighten that up yet because that's what seals it into the tank. Now on the other end we've got this fuel clunk and a bit of silicone pipe, so this is going to go on here like that. There we are. And then this tube has to be cut to exactly the right length, so that when it's dangling in the fuel tank, it just comes to about there. That's about right there. Now I'm just going to do a test fit of this. And I can see the clunk moving around, and it's absolutely perfect. It's not catching on anything, it's right at the bottom. That's how it should be. Now I'm just going to secure this tube on here with one of these little clips because I don't want it to fall off in the fuel tank. So we put that on there, and that will just provide a bit of extra grip. And then we just need to tighten this screw up, and it should pull the rubber bung in and seal the tank. Voila. Now the next thing we're going to do is to fit this fueling valve, which will be connected to the fuel tank and then put into the fuselage. Now this valve here is going to be connected to that fuel tank with a small length of tubing. But first of all, I'm going to put this into the fuselage in an appropriate location. So I've cut out a hole here for the fuel filler. I've had to chisel out a section inside the wood here to allow it to fit. And that just goes in there like that. And there's the filler on the outside. So all we need to do is connect this tube here to the fuel tank and this tube here to the carburetor. And this is how you will fill up the fuel tank through this valve. So I've put the fuel tank in and you can see it sitting there with the fuel tubes coming out, but I'm not going to connect it up until I've covered the model and put the engine in. Well, that's the fuel tank installation finished, so I'm going to end that video here. In the next video, we're going to actually start covering the model. So until next time, bye for now, and I'll see you next time on Modelling Misadventures.